today I am being interviewed by Spanish/English speaking superstar Martha Schreiner. I feel like your last name is so English. Well, yeah, but your first name, Marta, is very Spanish, and then the last one is just like Jewish. I don't let people wear shoes in the house, especially boots.
I know, but
These
nobody uses
wax boots.
But you don't let people do a lot of things, but you let it do Marta.
Okay,
Marta.
¿Cómo estás?
Estoy muy bien.
Usually we do like one person per cushion.
Can you calm down? Take a deep breath.
I'm calm. I'm just.
This is your first interview. You're freaking out. Calm down. Oh my God, this white boy.
You're just gonna call me Latina.
This white boy. I was gonna say Latina, but let me start. Hola.
You're gonna have to do some English too for our English listeners.
Is he gonna let me do this or not? You see, this is always power tripping. Teddy, this is my interview, not yours. Whenever you're gonna do it, you can give me all the crap that you want.
This is my interview, I thought.
I mean, it is, but I'm leading it. You know what I mean. So don't get on a Latinas nerve. Hi, hola a todos. Bienvenidos a este video. El día de hoy estoy muy contenta y quiero empezar diciéndoles que es muy importante que una aprenda a hablar inglés, porque si te vas a sentar al lado del güerito que te gusta, que te encanta, no va a tener ni idea de lo que le estás diciendo. Entonces yo por eso...
I haven't understood any of that either, guys. Don't worry about it. We have, but just quickly before we get into this, we have Martha's Spanish camera over here to the left, and then we got the English version over here, but we're going to do a lot of mixing in both. But go ahead, Martha.
This one's stunner. So let me start. How about, I would love to hear you introducing yourself to, ¿quién es Ted Jones? Who is Ted Jones?
I am Ted Jones. I'm an entertainer from New York City. I do stand-up, podcasts, vlogs, sketches, and I'd say, overall, I'm an entertainer. I'd say that's my main title.
What is what that you like to do the most?
Interesting question. I've thought about it a bunch, and I think that the order probably goes for me making videos in terms of like vlog, then stand up, then the podcasts, and then sketches. But they're all at the top of my mind all the time, and I love doing all four of those things.
Claramente está diciendo que está enamoradísimo de mí. Le encantan las mujeres latinas. Trabajar con Marta es lo mejor que le ha pasado en el mundo.
Yes.
El pobre hombre no tiene ni idea de lo que acabamos de decir. Ven, por eso, amigas, es importante que una hable inglés. That's why it's very important that you learn Spanish.
I know Spanish. I know Spanish more than
What did I just say?
What did you just say? You just spoke so fast. I'm talking about how out of more of your English-speaking Jewish friends, I know more Spanish than them, probably.
Oh, really?
Really?
I'm going to tell you something. You're my only Jewish friend.
Really?
Yes.
Even being in New York City?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
You're
cool.
probably my whitest friend.
When did you find out I was Jewish, by the way? Just, I guess, a quick question for you.
When I saw it on TikTok, yes.
So
I was like, you start doing like, and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Commented on it. You were like, you're Jewish?
Yeah. Like, oh my goodness. I don't know so many things about you, but I was just joking, telling the Spanish people that you're so in love with me, that you have a huge crush on me, that you love working with me, that I'm the hottest Latina you met in your life, and that it's very important that people learn English and people, learn Spanish so you don't get fooled in an interview.
You have to, when you speak a little bit of English here, you have to slow down. Otherwise, my grandma's going to say that you spoke too fast. Like, she'll listen to episodes and she'll be like, you and your guests were speaking over each other, or the guest was speaking too fast. So when you speak Spanish, you could speak, I think, as fast as you want for them listening. But when you speak English, try and slow it down for the people who need a little bit of time.
Abuela, I love you, abuela. I can't wait to hug you. I love your grandson. Le vamos a enseñar un poquito de español. Fantastic. Quickly, I'm going to tell them. Amigos, él es básicamente un artista. Eso es lo que más te gusta hacer. Y lo que le fascina es justamente entretener. Basically, you love to entertain and you love doing the videos and all of this. When this, I feel like when this, you were 6 years old, were you throwing a fit? Were you like, mommy? Like, how did you find that road in your life?
Well, I think always, like, starting when I was first in school, when I was like 3, 4, or 5 years old, I always kind of like to be the center of attention, whether it was like having a lot of friends during recess, playing sports, hanging out with girls. But about 4 years ago to the day, actually, it's funny that we're doing this interview today, I had invasive jaw surgery. I'm not sure if you actually knew this. I told you about it briefly. So I had my jaw broken in 4 different places because I had TMJ. And for those Spanish listeners,
what the hell is TMJ? A ver, les voy a explicar. TMG.
TMG.
Sí. Wait.
TMG. Yeah.
Let me translate this. Hace 4 años, mi amigo Ted, what was it, an accident?
No, I had an uneven face line. My jaw on one side was growing further than the other.
Oh, shit.
And this happens in females more so. So I'm not sure if you have friends who just have like an uneven jaw. No, you can kind of see if somebody's looking at you and your smile like this is like uneven on one side. No, you have a pretty symmetrical face.
Thank God. Bueno, para hacer una historia corta, tenía la mandíbula un poco separada, and then you go through surgery. Lo mandan a cirugía 4 years ago. Today, 4 years ago, hace 4 años. Lucky girl, we're celebrating your surgery.
I know.
This is the big scar that you have right there, right?
Yeah, scar right
there. Sí. So,
but
then,
that kind of took my just view on life, and it just gave me perspective. Like at that point, like right after I had the surgery, I had been in a relationship, and I realized that it wasn't working. We want to hear
the gossip about the relationship.
Well,
please, let's go to that.
I wasn't. It wasn't really working out, and
why?
I realized this. Well, I just didn't think we were connecting that well.
How long were you with that person?
Like about a year. She was great. She was an amazing person.
She was not an actress, neither a comedian.
She was a model. But she was great, and it didn't work.
Excuse me. Una modelo, por supuesto.
Modela.
Una modelo. Tenía una relación, claro. Me encanta because I feel like everybody that goes through something big in their lives has to do something with ending a relationship.
Yeah.
Did you have morphine during the surgery? Did you have morphine? Did you have like any fun drugs?
Yeah, and that's where I think a lot of my realization of like I don't want to do the job that I'm currently in, because I was working in real estate at my dad's company for like 6 years, and right around that time was when I kind of figured out that I want to pursue other things, and that's the comedy, videos, the podcast. And
how did your dad take it?
He was very supportive.
Your daddy, that's very hot. I love your daddy.
Have you met my dad, or you just met me in my sketch?
I saw him one in a show, so he's coming tomorrow and be like, hola, papacito, ¿cómo está mi suegro-in-law? He's so handsome. Hi.
Yes, he's great. But yes, he was very supportive, and I was taking improv classes to the point where I was working from 9 to 5 usually every day, but I had an improv class that started at 4 p.m. on some Wednesdays, so he'd let me get out of work an hour early. But throughout the time that I was working for him, he was always just very supportive of me kind of taking an hour here, taking an hour there, like every other week, just kind of figuring out if I really wanted to stay in the real estate business that he was in, or I wanted to pursue other things.
You're very blessed. God bless your dad. Bendito sea el Señor
My
Papá
family,
que lo apoya. Yes. Yeah, you were very lucky. I'm sorry I cannot pronounce those words, but you understand me. Everybody who's just listening to that, I'm sure you get it.
Yes.
And you were born in New York? No.
I was born in Princeton, New Jersey. I spent 6 weeks there, and then my dad and mom both had jobs in New York City, so they decided to move to Greenwich Avenue.
Okay.
And
I don't have the fuck idea where is this, pero bueno.
Greenwich Avenue in New York City, so it's like right around, it's near Greenwich Village. It's like basically the neighborhood. So I moved there when I was 6 weeks old, lived there till I was like 5, and then when I turned 5, we moved to 18th between 2nd and 3rd, and that's where I spent all my time until I was 18 years old, and then went to college.
Your mom is also super hot. Guapísima, su mamá. I know, like you have great parents. Hi. No wonder why you're so good looking, because I definitely.
And they're smart too, which is nice.
See, do you have siblings?
I thought you were gonna say, did you get the smartness? I got the funniness, which is all good. I have 2 younger sisters who I believe you've probably met briefly if you came to the show, so. Or one of them maybe.
Mis cuñadas, no conozco a mis cuñadas. Okay, love this background. Why a relationship doesn't work?
What do you mean?
Like in your previous experience, like you were dating a model.
Yeah.
Things were like, how do people disconnect in a relationship? I really want to hear Ted Jones' comedy life.
I think that you really have to be the truest version of yourself in order for you to relate to somebody else fully. Like when you're working on something in your life that you're not passionate about or you don't think is right for you, you attract the same kind of energy in another human. So you'd attract a person who maybe isn't right for you or likes this version of you, but you don't really like yourself. So I think in order for a relationship to work, both people have to be working on themselves every day and realize that it takes you as a specific human to make yourself happy. You can't rely on somebody else to make you happy. And in previous relationships, I've done a lot of that. I've made a lot of errors in thinking that a girl is going to make me happy or a certain situation is going to make me happy, when I have to really just dig inside myself, hit the gym, hit the runs, go vegan, start fasting, and just find out the depth of my soul and what makes me passionate, Marta.
And you found it. Bravo, bravo,
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah, I'm on the journey now.
Do you feel like you get to be discriminated by girls because you're a comedian? That it's like hard to date comedians?
Well,
Will you say so? I think it's a pain in the ass. No, I mean, like, dating artists is kind of tricky.
Well, I think right now, especially since the change has been more so dramatic within like the last 2.5 years, or especially since like things have gotten back to normal since COVID. Like, I changed my whole career 4 years ago, or like 3.5 years ago for sure. But I had a transition period where people knew me as the kid who was working at his dad's real estate company.
Yeah.
And in 15 years, he'd take over his dad's real estate company. Now people know me as the comedian who's been in the business for 3 or 4 years. And where's he going to be in 15 years? They don't know. I think I have a good idea of which way I'm progressing, but it's just much different for somebody else to see, oh, he's going to be here at this particular time, when if I were to do something that was predictable, people can see like, oh, he's going to be a reliable guy in 15 years because this is his trajectory. I can see it. And people outside of me right now, myself, don't necessarily see where I'm going to be in X amount of years or where I'm going to be next week. So I think that's something that has, it's been difficult for me to realize on certain occasions, but I think that it just makes me dig further into myself and realize, like, what do I really want and what do I really want to attract?
What does Ted Jones really want?
I think I want to. I don't
think he knows it quite well.
So
He's
deep,
like, oh my God, this is
that's so deep.
You know, you had an interview with Marta. It was going to be deep. What do you think, that we were going to be laughing and making out here? No, honey, I don't only do that. But if you want to make down and cut the crap, I'm down to make out.
I thought you were going to have the questions out, but you're doing pretty well, I will say.
Honey, I'm a pro. You always doubt me. You know that this guy, when I show him my script, like, you doubting.
No, that's not true. I think you're a great writer. I think you're very funny. Like, we have written some hilarious shit together, and you have
hilarious
some
shit together.
Great input. That's not. What are you talking about?
Anyway,
I would admit it if she wrote the whole thing.
Okay.
Anyway, I said I would admit it if you wrote the whole thing.
Most of them, the two ones that
okay,
were
you know what? Enough. That's not even true. But what does Ted Jones want?
Yeah, what do you want?
I think I want to progress every day. I want to be better than I was the day before.
That sounds so romantic.
I think that, like, as cheesy as that sounds, it's ultimately what leads to happiness. I'm not sure if you've heard of Tony Robbins, or your Spanish listeners have heard of Tony Robbins.
Antonio Robbins. Also en español.
Antonio Robbins. Anyway, he talks about how progress is happiness. Yeah. You know, like, if you progress a little bit every day, you're happier because you see yourself doing better than the day before. Yeah. And no progress is no happiness.
Do you feel like you always like that, or like you have days where it's like, I'm not making no progress? Because I feel like we gotta be honest. I know, there are days that are like super hard.
Totally.
And what is the thing that you struggle the most?
Well, I think that it's just the impatience. You know, I think any kind of artist or any comedian, actress like yourself just realizes that every day you have to do something to make yourself better than the day before, and every day you're not going to see improvements. You know, like, there could be, well, that's what or you can see an improvement the next day, and then it's like, it's the ups and downs. You can see yourself flatlining for 3 months, and then something great happens, and it's flatlining for 3 months, something great happens. So I think it's realizing that every day you have to do something to, again, make yourself happier.
I know, but sometimes you feel like, shit, I should go back to my dad's, whatever, go back to my previous job, and like, life will be more secure, like, life will be better if I go back to that, or no, like, you feel like you finally skipped that part, like, you're like, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I decided, this is what keeps me happy, let me continue.
I think that's where I am.
Okay.
I realize that it's going to take some time, but I think there's, in being impatiently patient, like, realize every single day that tomorrow I want to be where I'm at, so I have to work very hard today in order to get to tomorrow. And if tomorrow doesn't happen, all right, I got to work really hard tomorrow to get there the next day, and then keep repeating until, I don't think I'll ever stop, but just keep repeating the process.
Okay, tell me 5 things that make you happy. Like, when you talk about progress, like 5 things that you do, like, let's say that you have like a mental health kind of check thing that you do for yourself to feel better.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I have to dance, or like right now I have to get on a hill, so I feel like, it's something silly as that. What are those things that are for you?
I think the first thing in the morning for me that's really important is, like, first thing I'll wake up, have a glass of water, go outside and get coffee. Getting outside for those initial 15, 20 minutes, seeing the sun, or if it's super cold, just feeling that air, getting a cup of coffee, coming back, writing 5 or 6 things down on my schedule that I'm going to do for that day, potentially getting a little bit anxious because I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish all of those things on a certain day, but just really try and do my best and accomplish those things. And if I don't accomplish the things that I want to do in a day, I won't beat myself up, but I do find myself really trying to finish everything on my schedule on a particular day. So I have built a strong word to myself where I know that not every day I'm going to want to go to the gym, but I will every day go to the gym. And that's the first thing that's really difficult to do. And then I think the rest of the day becomes easier.
Do you have like a line that keeps you going? You know, like, what do you say? A mantra or like slogan or like some cheesy phrase that always gets you going. What is it?
I don't want to share it though.
He doesn't want to share it. Is that corny?
I don't think so. I think it pertains to me, and it's something that I talk to myself. I tell myself every day. But I mean, it's just it's on the verge of keep going. You're great. You can do it. It's you versus you. I think the mantras that just are in your head, like I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep going. I could do this. Be better than yesterday, you know?
I mean, one of the things that I love when I was working with you, and I don't know if all of your listeners, viewers, whatever know this, but when we were doing that scene in the shower, you had post sticks, is that how they call it? I'm sorry if I'm breaking this.
Sticky tags.
How?
Sticky tags.
Sticky tags.
Sticky notes.
Sticky notes in the shower. That was so cool. I'm like, who would
my sister, I should shout out my sister for buying me that for my birthday. I thought it was such a weird thing, but it was a great idea, and I use it all the time. I have a sticky notes tab in my shower that I use. Just write notes to myself.
Oh, you're so sweet. Has that ever stopped a girl coming here and like wanting to sleep with you because you put a sticky note? Like,
since I put those notes up there, I don't think any girl has been in my shower. So
well, you don't let them shower.
Well, I closed the curtain. You know what I mean? And like you saw when you went in there, the curtain was closed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And it would have to be the right girl to be like showering in my apartment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, this is the business apartment. You know what I mean? Like people on this couch, it's just strictly business. You know?
What? You don't fuck nobody on this couch?
I mean, no. This is a sacred couch. That'd be messed up to all the people sitting where you're sitting.
I mean, exactly. That's why I want to be like,
yeah. And then I put it on the camera too, and then I do a vlog.
And it has to be a special girl for you to let her shower. Interesting.
Definitely.
Hi.
But that's also like you wouldn't shower at a random guy's house.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like it would take a lot for you to shower at a guy's house, right?
Or it depends if I have to be somewhere. Like I do have the.
Okay, but like no girl would come over here have to be somewhere, and then like that would mean that I would be like seeing her probably.
Or maybe you want to fuck her in the shower. You know, you're like, hey, listen, I need to get clean too, and just like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. The shower's too sacred.
Grandma, I'm so sorry for doing this. You know, I'm a Latina. I'm a very spicy woman. We love sex. We want to talk about sex. So now let's get to the fun part about this video. Ted Jones, I want to hear about your dating life.
Yeah.
As a comedy man.
Yeah.
How is that going for you?
I think it's okay right now.
Okay.
I don't have complaints about it because I know my effort level in trying to go on dates, trying to meet people is not very high. Like I'm on the dating apps, I'm on Raya, and
that sucks.
What sucks?
I don't know. I feel like meeting people through the apps is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but I think it's okay because it keeps my interest and it's fun. You know, if I heart somebody and they heart me back, I'm like, oh, this is great for like the next hour. Start picturing, can this work out? Blah blah blah, and then we never end up talking. Whatever.
Yeah.
But like. I think it's not something that I'm focusing on right now, and if it were to be something I'm focusing on, it's just like it's not something that I think about. So.
Would you consider it to be a sexual person or not at all?
Yeah, I think
kind of sexual. Like
well, if the time approaches,
like it's summertime now, and you know everybody's like sweating, hormones, everybody out. No. You're like no.
Leave the sweating to me. When I'm running those miles, don't I look tan? By the way,
you look so tan. Yeah. Un poquito más oscuro. Un poquito más oscuro. You know, like you look a little darker. What have you learned about comedy here in New York? What is it that fascinates you the most? Like you have people from different, you know, what?
Well, I think the thing that fascinates me the most is in New York, there are a group of comedians that just do comedy. If you go to places like LA or you go to places like Chicago, there are people who are doing comedy, they're doing commercials, they're also acting. But New York is the only place where people authentically just do stand-up comedy. Starting at the time that I did, where I've had the ability to meet so many comics, whether I'm seeing them at other comedy clubs or they've done the Ted Jones Comedy Show before. It's been inspiring to see people get to levels of comedy where you could turn on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and see their special on there.
Do you go to a show every day, or like you try to 3 per day here in New York? Because there are comedy shows every day here, no?
Yeah, I mean, some of the guys and girls who are out there doing 3 to 5 spots a night, I applaud them for sure. But I think like what I try and do on a day-to-day basis is like a little bit of each thing. Like on one day I'll be editing a podcast, or I'll shoot a podcast, editing a vlog, shoot a vlog, do a sketch, edit the sketch, go to a comedy show, do a spot. So I think that there are a lot of things that I do that kind of progress the entertainment part forward of what I enjoy doing on a day-to-day basis. But it's been interesting.
Are you informed about the SAG-AFTRA strike?
Yeah, I am informed a little bit, but can you explain that a little bit more? I know you're
this is going to be kind of hard, so I'm going to have to say it in Spanish. In Spanish, everybody's going to get it, but if I say it in English, it's,
Well, say it in Spanish, and then I'll cut it out in the English part.
No. It's just like, it's un poco difícil, but I feel mainly is,
you're not getting paid enough. You're not getting paid enough.
Besides
that,
like,
like
inteligencia artificial, how do you fucking say this in English?
Artificial intelligence.
Yes, like what they want to do. Like, they're that's what the writers, like, their producers or whatever they want to use in
artificial intelligence.
Yes, to write the scripts, and the writers are just gonna tweak it.
100,000 jobs.
And also actors, like with the avatars and all that shit, is like we just get like some frames with you. And I know it's kind of hard for me to explain this new world 30 word out, but it's just like the faces, or then your voice. You just record it one time, and then artificial intelligence, whatever,
record your voice and then use it for the rest of the script.
Yes.
So they'll pay you like $100 for a day, and then use the rest. That's fucked up.
So I was just my question, and I was thinking, intelligent or la inteligencia artificial will replace comedy.
I think right now for sure no, but I can see maybe down the line you put 10 comedians and their style into a computer form and they try and spit out the best joke, maybe. But I think live comedy is always going to be super important. Now, whether comedians are using artificial intelligence jokes, I think that's a different story. But I think comedy will do quite well with this whole new age. Just because, especially since comedy really came back since the pandemic, it seems like it's been super hot. And being in New York, you really see that.
Or I was just thinking about Broadway. You have one live show and then you record it and you reproduce it in hologramas.
What do you mean?
Hologramas, like proyecciones. I'm so sorry, guys. I promise next time I'm gonna get better in English. Yeah. So I was just maybe like comedy. People will love it live, but maybe they're just gonna go live to see something that is mainly this.
Yeah, but I think comedy is really different every single time you see it, and even if you see the same person each time and they're doing kind of the same jokes, it really does feel different. It's just like the live performance, the authentic person standing up there, being on stage. So I think we'll be alright.
I hope so. I hope we're going to do something about it, and that's not going to happen anymore. So if anybody comes to your show, what they're going to expect, you're like, what's the TED Comedy Jones all about?
TED Comedy Jones. I think I do a lot of observational comedy. I'll do slight self-deprecation, a lot of stories from my life. Self-deprecation.
Self-deprecation. What the hell is that word?
I'm trying to think of the opposite of that, but like making fun of myself a little bit. Stories from my life, anything that I'll notice.
Ted, regarding to the dating life, how do you feel about 50-50? Because as a Latina woman, being raised in Mexico and all of this, it's kind of shocking to come to New York and see that, to me, in the way I understand life, men here are not willing to do beyond the bare minimum, right? I feel like sometimes it's just like, let's grab a drink. How are you? Like, what do you do? Do you put an effort when it comes to going out on a date, or not really? Or are you also the kind of guy who will be like, you get the check, or you feel like you're more the provider? Like, what is your thoughts around that?
I think that I think that men should make an effort for sure. But I also do think that it's part of the female's job to make the male feel wanted, and there shouldn't be so many games that are played, and that happens a lot, and it's different for each person. Sometimes a girl will play more games than a guy, and a guy will play more games with a girl, but I think it always depends on just the relationship between the two. I'm a provider. I'll pay if we're going on
That's what we want to hear.
Date. But I don't want to go on a date. I don't want to go on a dinner date right now. I spend $150. I don't even know if I like you. We're gonna go eat, have potatoes, and then if we go back to my apartment where we're all stuffy and stuff.
What?
Yeah, I don't want. I haven't drinking in 3 months, and I'm trying to potentially keep it like that, especially going on dates.
Okay,
so you don't keep it a little loose.
So you don't get a drink on your dates, and you also don't do it. You do coffee.
I don't know. I've been on since the last 3 months. I haven't drinking. I went on a coffee date.
Why? Why are you not drinking?
I don't know. Just whatever. I like smoking weed better. I haven't intentionally not drank. It just hasn't happened.
No, so you're not like partying or networking, all that kind of bullshit. No, really, you're just not doing that.
Yeah, I went to a wedding 2 weeks ago. In the first 2 hours of the party, I was like, should I drink? Should I drink? And then everyone was like 3 or 4 drinks in, and I was like, it would take too long for me to catch up to them, so I don't even want to drink. So that was the only real temptation I had over the last 3 months.
And if you were to be in a relationship where you're living with someone, will you feel like you will be paying most of the rent, or like what are your expectations on a girl? Yes.
I think,
like you are a provider.
Yes, I think if I'm able to pay the full amount, I will. If I'm with someone who's also working and they would like to pay, I think it's different nowadays. But I think it also just depends how much. No, I'm not. It depends how much the guy makes.
You better watch out what he's gonna say.
It depends what the girl makes. Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna cut it up. You know what I mean?
I'm being 100% real. That's what I was gonna say. See. He's drinking a little water.
It's 2023, so I think you gotta pay attention to how much the guy earns, how much the girl earns, because it's a different time these days. You know, girls are doing stuff that guys have done, and guys are doing stuff that girls have done in the past. You know, they're male nurses and shit, which is cool, but that's typically a female's job. I don't know. That's kind of a random tangent, but
what do you think about the girls who are expecting, men to pay their nails and their makeup and all of this and take care of them, like having another child? Is something that you will do, or definitely?
At the moment, I can't really answer that question because I haven't found the person that wants to do that, and I'm okay with paying for that. I don't know, and I respect guys who want to pay for their girls' upkeep and their beauty maintenance, and I respect girls who want that to be done with them. They think that that's the quality that a guy should have. I respect that.
He's dodging bullets.
This is like my presidential interview. I'm not saying anything bad.
He is so correct. You're being so white right now.
I'm being politically correct.
So yes, you're dodging all the bullets. That's why you're just saying.
It's just generally how I feel. Like, am I gonna pay for my girl's nails? Yeah, sure. Am I gonna pay for her doing her hair? Yeah, sure. But I don't need to be at the current moment. I don't need to be paying for her $1 million shopping sprees of Gucci, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in the future. No.
Yeah. What are you looking for in a partner? He doesn't know what he wants. Tricky girls.
Someone who's nice to me, someone who respects what I'm doing, someone who pushes me to get better.
Who believes in you.
Yeah, somebody who believes in me, of course. Somebody
who's fucking hot in a model, that also helps, right?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah. She must be vegan.
But I think, yeah, that's close. Yeah, I'm vegan, by the way. I don't think we've gone over that yet.
Yeah,
so that's
you always mention
part.
it. Nobody can miss it.
Yeah, but we haven't mentioned it in the Spanish version.
Es vegano. In all the videos and shit, todo el tiempo sabemos que eres vegano, and I don't want to get into the details about being, because most of the Spanish community will love to eat meat and salchicha and all
but
this
that was part of the jaw surgery too, when everything changed. That's when I went vegan.
Because you were doing a lot of smoothies, right?
Yeah, I couldn't really chew it all. I couldn't move my jaw.
And then you just stick to it. But like, are you like a big believer about the energy and the animals, or like, what is your perspective regarding to veganism? Now that we're gonna talk, let's see if it's gonna get still a bit very political or no.
No, I think that we've done so many studies within the last 10 to 15 years where people who are vegan genuinely are healthier. I think we're just gonna learn more about the dangers of the meat industry as we go forward, even though we know so much about it. But people are like, oh my god, I love animals, and then cut to an hour later, they're eating chicken at lunch. They're petting the dog on the street, they're eating a burger for dinner. So I think that society, as we go forward, we're going to start to realize that eating things that are not dead is better for you.
Would you say that you will eat meat in a few years?
No, I don't think so. I
Never.
think it's become part of the brand and something that I like to push.
Ah, that's so true. That is definitely very true. You say it all the time. You have it in your jokes. I'm sure people are like, ah, it's vegano, no mames, güey. Este cabrón.
And I am wearing the 4th annual Ted Jones World Vegan Hot Dog Eating, which you didn't fucking come to.
Oh my
4th
God,
annual Ted Jones
I
World
was-
Vegan Hot Dog Eating Contest
I had a
shirt.
terrible thing.
So
I lost
that
my
was,
phone. I
that
lost my
was great.
pictures. How was that? How was that? That was
You having
good.
a meltdown? It was great. Yeah.
That was good. That was good. That
It was
good.
amazing, yes.
Okay.
But that's something that has been a pretty big part of me becoming vegan over the last 4 years, the vegan hot dog eating contest.
That is nice. I like that. I like that you stick to your truth. You know, like I feel like you found your own way, and then you are not
I think
like
I have a very good word with myself.
Yes.
Anything that I really tell myself,
yes.
I will stick to, and that also leads to me telling things to other people. It really helps because there's so many people that will say something to somebody else, and you can't trust that person.
Yeah.
And you'll see it in
Yeah.
them having their own word to themselves, and you don't even believe it when they say it.
That's why tomorrow I have to go to his show. Otherwise, he's never gonna believe me. I've said a few times that I'm gonna come. I haven't been able to make it, but I'll be there tomorrow. You're gonna see it in the vlog. Okay, Ted.
You're going to see it here too.
Yes, Ted. What is bad about you? Everything seems to be like you're
Yeah.
so in track. You got this moment in your life where you were in the hospital and everything changed. You ended up this relationship because you were not connecting with her. Now you're stick to your job and like comedy and your passions, and like you have your own phrase that you don't want to share with everybody. It keeps you inspired. You have your sticky notes in the, like in the shower where you don't let nobody go in there, and like in this amazing couch when you like this is the business couch and everything. What is bad about you, brother?
I think I'm very intense, and I don't think that's bad, but I think that it would take a certain person to fully get involved into my life and be okay with the pace of the way things are moving. Because like I'll go to LA. I was in LA a few weeks ago for 4 days, and things were just too slow. Like at any time I leave New York and I go somewhere else, I just find that things are too slow. I want to be able to go outside, get the coffee, then go to CVS, then go to the grocery store, then go to the gym, and I'm back within an hour and a half. That doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. I mean, anywhere else in the world, I can't say that. Maybe it happens in Tokyo or other cities like that in Asia. But I think just the pace of New York and the pace of being able to do so many different things during the day really excites me. And just I do 2 podcasts a week, 2 vlogs a week, and I'm working on something every day where I feel like if I was in another place, it'd be very difficult for me to do as much as I've done. But I think I'm very intense. I don't think that's bad at all, but I think it's something that people would be weary of if they're not as intense. I'm super intense.
Like, but super intense. Like, you
Yeah.
get angry easy.
Well,
Are you moody?
no.
Or you're like, you want to get things done, one thing,
I think
and
you've
then
seen
hear,
it. I think you've seen it. Getting things done.
Yes.
Doing when I have a vision, I'll put it forward. I think like I move quickly, and I think some people
Yes.
and some people don't like that.
I love that.
think
The
that's
only
right
thing
word.
that you think is bad about you is being intense. Look, hombre, güey, este hombre perfecto.
I don't know. I don't know. In the past, I've been not
Any
so great.
ex-girlfriends,
In the-
anybody, please DM it.
In the past, maybe I've had bad breakups because I've been bad to women, but that was like over 4 years ago.
Have you ever been mean?
Yeah.
Like,
To who?
I don't
In general?
know.
Yeah, I think so in the past, though. I don't think recently I've been mean. I've really tried my best to be nice to everyone.
Yeah, you have never been stuck up. Is that a word? Stuck up? Mamón,
I'd
así se
say
dice en español.
I can't say recently. I can't.
Ah, I like that. I
can.
like that. Okay. To wrap this up, Tedo,
Yeah.
to everybody out there who is working a 9-to-5 job or like, they're doubting about fighting for their true passions, and this is a very hard journey. What will you say to these people, especially in comedy?
I think you have to do something every day for at least an hour that makes you super happy, whether it's in your 9-to-5 job during your lunch break, or it's from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., it's from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. I think that you do have to spend at least an hour of the day that you're awake for 14 hours doing something that makes you happy, that you're passionate about. Otherwise, time just goes by so fast, and so many years can be eaten up of your life doing things that you don't want to do. Like, I worked at my dad's company for 6.5 years, and I remember many days, weeks, and months where I'd be legitimately sitting at my computer. There'd be 4 hours during the day where nobody told me to do anything, so I'd just be there staring at a computer screen on MSN.com, on ESPN.com, waiting for the next story to come in front of my face. You know what I mean? But I think, yeah, you got to do something every day that makes you happy and progresses you towards not necessarily a goal, but something that just makes you happier each day. I think that's super. I think that's super important. Like even talking to a therapist, I'm sure that they would say you have to do something that makes you happy every day. Otherwise, you're going to go nuts. Doesn't make sense for you to wake up in the morning and the first thing you think about is, oh, this coworker didn't answer that email that I sent last night. Like you can be fired tomorrow and your boss will replace you. So I think that's something that's important.
I love it. And I would like you to share, how do you know me? ¿Cómo me conoció este hombre? You know, people are going to think it was in a strip club. It was not.
I went to a movie premiere. I went with one of my friends, Ashley. She brought me, and at the movie premiere, we went to the Rainbow Room, and I didn't have one of my passes that I needed to get into the after party. So I go up to you. You were waiting there, like at the ticket booth. I still didn't even know what you were doing there. And I went up close to you. I was like, I'm sorry, like I don't have my pass. And like you looked at me and you were like, well, whatever, just go by. And I was like, what? Who is this girl? Then I see you upstairs with your pigtails and we start dancing and you start talking to our group. I don't really know anything past that. That was crazy. And then I saw you in the subway and then I think that made us reconnect. To start working together and doing some sketches.
I think I said it to you, like, okay, wherever, you can go there, but you're going to pay this back to me. So when I saw you, you know, I said something like, you better don't forget I'm doing this favor for you. But you were like, no, I won't forget. So when I saw you at the party, I'm like, hey, you remember me? And we're like, oh, yeah. And you actually were like, I tag along and the rest is history.
Yeah. So what were you doing there, by the way? Were you just like working on the event?
Yeah, I was just working on the event.
Yeah, that was crazy. So it was random. Yeah. You let me into the event when I didn't have a ticket. Even though I was supposed to be there, I legitimately just like lost the ticket, didn't have it. So I went into the Rainbow Room event, saw you upstairs, and then you were hanging out with us. It was great.
Yeah, and then I thought you were pretty cute.
Yeah.
I was like, qué guapo está este hombre, guapísimo, me encanta. I want to do something with him. Let me write in a script, but I have to kiss him. That's the truth. Let me confess to everybody. Whenever I see a guy that I like, I always write in a script, but I am supposed to.
The mama did it too. Yeah, that part.
Yeah, I enjoyed it so much. I was like, let me send this white boy what he thinks about it. Maybe he's not gonna freak out. And we kissed the first time. He was a little nervous. His energy. It's pretty tense.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. My energy's kind of tense. I think Shelby, or what's the name of your camera boy? What's his name? Shuey, you were more nervous. He was kind of
Shelby. Yes, Shuey was nervous. You're right.
He was, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
Or like when I had to do the mamadita idea. I mean, you know, you're an actor sometimes.
Yes.
It's better I don't know. It's like.
No, I think you're great. You're bubbly. I think that's why we get along so well. You're intense too in a good way.
Super intense too.
But I love working with you, and I'm very happy I met you. I think you're a great person, and I think you just did a great job. You knocked this interview out of the park. And for those listening and watching on the Ted Jones World channel, this is a little bit different than what you guys are used to. But if you haven't heard any of the stories that I've told before, hard to believe you haven't. But here I am, 4 years post jaw surgery. I'm going to put up some photos of me today, 4 years ago. Insane, with the blown up face. You're seeing it right here, Martha. But that was a crazy transformation in my life. And it was insane how that really was I guess kind of the bottom moment for me, the transformation period of time. But I'm very happy where I am in my life right now. I'm excited to see where I'm going to be 1 year from this point, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And one step forward at a time, Martha.
Yeah, and I'm very proud of you. Like, I don't know you that well, and I know that I don't hang out with you a lot, but I love the Ted Jones shirt, and I love the Ted Jones this, and the Ted Jones that, and I love that you don't say no. So this is great. Like, hey, bro,
I don't say what?
You don't never say no. You're like, if somebody comes with you with a creative idea, just like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Or like, I write something, like, let's do it, let's tweak it, and like, you make things happen just as you say. So I'm very happy. Thank you for doing this for me.
Martha, this is great.
This
Thank
is a
you.
pleasure.
Gracias, as they say.
A todos, thank you so much for making it here, aquí con mi amigo Tedo Jones. Ya aprendan inglés, por favor. Learn Spanish, please. You think we can pull it off next time in Spanish?
And I'll see you tomorrow
I said I'm going to take a picture. Ted Jones Comedy Show!
Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in. This was
I'll be
Ted
wearing
Jones,
these boots, I
the
promise.
interview. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.